So we have, these are both quite good 2-drops. I think we have, so the Rust Crawler is good if we expect artifacts. It's not unreasonable for a Vitruvian player to pick Staff of Akir. From my experience, there's often a lot of cards that you just don't really want in vet drafts. There's a lot of situational stuff, dervish synergy stuff when you don't have dervishes, you know, that sort of thing. So Staff of Akir does get picked, and they have a bunch of other good artifacts that are much higher picks that we'll want to be able to destroy. On the other hand, this Healing Mystic is really nice with Lucent Beam, but if we keep either of these, we're playing it on turn 1. So we lose the ability. I think the Rust Crawler's ability is probably more valuable than the Mystics, but I'm sure I'd regret that the moment I top deck Lucent Beam. Otherwise, I think we want the Hailstone over the Primus for threatening obelisks more easily, and I think I will call it there. That's what we get. Okay, so we don't need Divine Bond yet. Jaxi. That might be the best play here, actually. Although it's low impact, it keeps the synergistic potential of both of these. It's not all that much worse at threatening obelisks. You know, 2 general attacks and 2 Jaxi attacks still kill it. And obviously, it lets me, in theory, set up a range minion quite early. This is a good draw, because even if this dies, we're still in great shape to play a solid minion next turn. This card is so good, just generally. The fact that it sometimes absorbs dispels is icing on the cake. Because even when they dispel it, you just roar it and it's back. Bloodshard Golem. Okay, I think that's an easy trade. I don't really mind taking 4 at this stage. We get a 50-50 for the Jaxi to enter win the game mode. I think before replacing, I'm going to attack to see where the Jaxi ends up. If it ends up over here, I don't need the Rust Crawler anywhere near as much. So let's start with that. You can go first. Pooh. Okay. And that at least pulls my opponent away, which also makes artifacts worse. That said, I can just distract him with this Provoke. Yeah, we'll go for that. This is pretty handy against obelisks, so I might keep hold of it for the moment, and I'll just replace the Rust Crawler. Oh, let's find out how good Sky Barrel is. We do have the combo. That's scary. Yun Pass, interesting. Okay. So we have some cute options. We can play Healing Mystic and roar it. We can even attack, play the Healing Mystic and roar it. We can just move this down and let them trade. You know, get in for 5, but that gets the Jaxi token killed. We can repulsor it to the middle of nowhere. It's probably not worth it yet. We can play the Hailstone Golem and keep, which survives as a 4-1, which is probably the better play. Either way, I don't think we need this. Handcart's also pretty tempting. Like we can go here, move this round, develop Handcart and roar the Silver God Knight, get in. Yon trades, this dies, but we still have... Yeah, that's not really worth it. Compared to just playing this Hailstone Golem, which is a really nice kind of simple play. I'm a much bigger fan of. So the guy gets to start fleeing. I think I'm going to move here, because that protects the Jaxi from dispels. And I'm going to refrain from attacking with this. Because otherwise it dies to a ping. And I would like to be able to roar it. Or get in and use the Healing Mystic. Like, the 3 damage isn't a huge loss right now. All that. Also worth it. That saves my Jaxi. The decline to attack, I mean. That saves the Jaxi. Okay, so this is nice, because now we can take this Mana Tile, roar, kill this, get in for 4, and develop another threat. This is all a bit situational. The Sky Burial is not going to do a lot, because our opponent isn't going to have anything else to play their minions next to for a while. Rustcrawler is a reasonable thing to lay down. I think I might actually take the opportunity to play Hank Hart. It's a bit greedy because it's a relatively passive play. If the opponent has like a Lightbender, this puts us in some trouble. But outside of that, I think we're in pretty good shape. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not play a Lightbender. Oh wow, we drew the Pandora. I didn't even notice that. Is that an Orb Weaver? That's an Orb Weaver. Don't care too much about that. Primus. I think that's a very good Repulsor Beast target. And then I think we roar up Hankheart and start killing stuff. So this is gonna go and hide behind me again in a minute. If I do, oh, this is awkward. I want to play the Repulsor Beast in such a way that it blocks my opponent's access to Hank, but I don't think I can. What am I replacing? Probably this Rustcrawler. That's a very good draw as well. I think I prefer continuing to be annoying with ranged minions for the time being. My opponent's on 13. That's not very high. Might be time to go face. This is 9 damage. And we can still lay down the Healing Mystic to block off access to something. If I do this, it blocks access to me until my opponent moves, which isn't very helpful. So let's go here. Pretty sure we've got this. Lyonar healer. It's a bit awkward because we don't have. Oh no, we've got a Sunbloom. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Man, the noise Orb Weaver makes when it attacks is pretty cool. Not that any of that is relevant, because my opponent is dead. But that was satisfying. We got there. That was a pretty heroic Jaxi. I think, obviously, Reva gets a bit of a nod because she has access to ranged minions, which are harder to come by than pump spells and more expensive. But Arjun is so good with ranged minions because obviously his Bloodborne spell is just fantastic on anything like that. Also good with Frenzy or Force Field or anything. Okay, going second. We do have some very good 3-drops that we're hoping to hit, like this. This many 3-drops is probably pushing it. So let's replace the Golem and the Sunseer, those being the weakest early on. More 3-drops. If my opponent does something that dies to this, like plays a ranged minion... oh no. That's bad. That's bad. Windblade is good. Very good. I think we're essentially... I think we're locked into playing this. This survives the turn on board, takes up this mana tile, which I would like to do because my opponent has access to quite a bit of mana. next turn. Like, from this position, you can take all 3 mana tiles. Like, you come here, you play something on this one, and then you run the Azeroth Lion over here and actually take the tile. The running away I'm not too scared of, because if we draw some kind of... oh, crap. Oh, that does to Lucid Beam really conveniently. So that's not too bad. Are we doing anything else? Yeah, I think we can play Radiant Dragoon, which beefs this up. So we move the Silver Guard round. No, we can't. We have to come up here. What am I replacing? Let's replace Windblade Adept, just in case my opponent has some kind of scary artifact. That's not bad either. I will save that for when it gets more value, because the Lucent Beam is much better right now. So just jam this guy, shoot with the Lucent Beam, attack face, because my opponent seems to have quite a good deck, and we're currently slightly ahead on board. Possible I should have attacked there. I kind of want my opponent to commit his Roar plus Azeroth Lion to it. You know, if our Silverguard Knight can trade with a Lion plus a Hero Power activation plus 3 damage and the General's movement, that's great. That's really nice advantage. Allowing my opponent to just hit it and then do whatever they like with the Azeroth Lion probably wouldn't get us punished this turn, but I don't really like giving him the option. The 3 damage isn't bad, mind. But I think I prefer it this way. Oh, we have double Ironcliffe. When did that happen? That's nice. Okay, we got there on that front. Opponent still does get to spend most of their mana, so they get to play a 3-drop this turn. Oh! That I was not expecting. I guess the Dragoon does generate quite a bit of value. Ugh! Harsh. Okay, well, I think we just make the easy play. Question is, where do I want to be? I think I like the idea of being far away from the Arclight Sentinel, and particularly on the opposite side of my opponent from the Ironcliffe. So if I do this, it makes it that much more difficult for my opponent to lock us both down with provokes. I think I replaced this. Yeah, if you had Arclight Regalia last turn, would have been a good spot for it. Makes it much harder for my opponent to lock both me and the Guardian down with provokes, punish with Holy Immolation, anything like that. Whereas if we both stood here, my opponent had a Holy Immo, the Sentinel attacks in, gets immolated, and I am sad. There we go. So we're kind of advantaged from that front. The only downside is we can't easily blow it. But that's not a huge deal. We can even Sunbloom if we care, but I don't think we do. Right, so I'd really like to draw Divine Bond now and just kill this. Maybe I do a Sunbloom just so I can get a Roar in and go face. I don't know if that's worth it, but it might be. Let's replace Jaxi. Rustcrawler. So what I can do instead, actually, is just play... do this. Attack this, and then play another one. And roll that. And this means, so if my opponent wants to spend effort killing this... Oh, that's a thought. He can roar it and kill it. I shouldn't have attacked. Fool. Fool! Still, we're in a good spot. If he spends his turn doing that, and playing some other random threat, and we draw Divine Bond, we win. That is a clean lethal. And even if he doesn't, we can still kill this Ironcliffe with ours. And still have it on a respectable life total. Not amazing, but respectable. We can use the Sunbloom as well. If he plays another minion here that we want a Sunbloom, like that. Or that. The Sunbloom's looking better. Oh god, the Sunbloom's looking fantastic. Although I don't know if we even care about like attacking any of this stuff. I think I just roar again and hit him for 9. Let's look for lethal before we do anything else. Boring. Oh, I can't even play that and Sunbloom in the same turn, and I think I'm obliged to play the Sunbloom. Feels good, man. So we roar, get in, and just jam out some crap. Right? If I play this over here, it blocks my opponent's ability to run away from the Ironcliffe. Although not very much, because you can just attack it with this. No, that doesn't seem worth it. Do I even bother playing it? I think so, because I'm just playing the Storm Metal Golem next turn. And the more time my opponent spends killing this random thing, the less time he spends killing my Ironcliffe Guardian, which obviously he has to do first. So, it looks like we're in good shape. He does have a bigger hand than us, though. If he's got a Martyrdom or something here, we could be in trouble. None of his minions are very big, but... Okay, that's a good sign. That's also a fairly good sign. Guess he's going for it, sure. So he must have something to do with this, right? Or he's just playing out stuff before he loses. People do that sometimes. Another provoke? Pandora! That's our job! He's hoping for the provoke. Oh, he got one! But it spawned in the wrong place. Man. Opponent has a very similar deck to us. But the double Ironcliffe was the punchline.